Welcome to Mazatlan, my city. This is the spirit of Mazatlan. We're glad you're with us. Welcome, Simon, to the show.
Hello.
Standing in for Wendy.
It's going to be fun having you.
Is it?
Yeah, well, I can...
On the other side.
We shall see.
Yeah, well, I can already see the sweat on your upper lip.
Yeah, well, that's because you maybe put long pants on, darling.
Well, yes, we don't want to see your legs today.
No, absolutely.
Well, and I see that you've been busy this summer.
Yes, it's been a rainy season.
Jeez, congratulations. When are you due?
End of December, beginning of January.
Can I just say, Roberta, I think you look absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I really do. I think you look so radiant.
Thank you very much.
I personally am glad that she's like getting a little bigger.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, I got that.
Well, we've got a great show today.
Yes, we really do. Dr. Barraza from Barraza from Sharps Hospital. He is the director of medical tourism, and we're really excited to have him here because I think that what we need to know is about the state of the art medical care that we can get actually here in Mazatlan.
Yeah, I agree.
Facilities.
Yeah, I agree.
It is.
I mean, we know that Mazatlan, we know, but most people do not know that Mazatlan has incredibly wonderful healthcare facilities. So,
And that gives you peace of mind.
absolutely.
You know,
it's a very important factor.
I met this wonderful doctor in the emergency room myself, and he's funny and he's witty and he really made me feel comfortable. So, we'd like to welcome Dr. Barraza. Hi.
Doctor, ¿cómo está?
So exciting to have you here.
Thank you.
So, tell us about what you do.
For the last 6 years, we have noticed, we have understand the need to pay attention to our guests.
Okay.
Mazatlan is a port, and we live with the tourism, and now we do medical tourism for Sharp. I'm personally located in the emergency room, which is the entry to the hospital.
When you say medical tourism, what do you mean by medical tourism?
Medical tourism is a relatively new concept where people travel to other places to take care of health issues.
Okay.
And this is practiced worldwide. It's especially heavily in Europe, in Asia, and in Mexico also. Dental care, for example, has been traditionally for 60, 80 years has been a medical tourism.
How long has your hospital actually been open?
Sharp Hospital actually this week is 18 years in business.
Okay.
Sharp Hospital is the only hospital, the only private hospital in town, and we serve a purpose. We have a beautiful facility centrally located in what is now the downtown of Mazatlan, not the old town, not the new Mazatlan, but in the middle, which is Rafael Buelna. And I love the place, and I love what I do.
You know, I actually, when I was staying there, it was so perfect. I mean, the care was amazing, and you know, it was really refreshing. You know, because you're afraid when you're sick.
Right.
You know?
Are you going through some kind of accreditation process right now, aren't you? What does that mean?
Accreditation process means that the whole culture of patient care is related to the patient, and this is a international accreditation, and we are in the verge of being accredited for the first time, and the only hospital in Mazatlan accredited.
So if you're, for instance, a North American, in terms of insurance, do you have an insurance system, I mean scheme? How does it affect North Americans in particular?
The hospital accepts insurance through a concern that handles only insurances. But in general, the word is we accept foreign medical insurances.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually always really good to know.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's some kind of, you were mentioning earlier, Debs, some sharp card, right?
That's right.
Okay, one of the segments that we are paying particular attention nowadays is the foreign community, the expats, the foreign community that lives already in Mazatlan. And for them, we have created a special program called the Sharp Card. This is a card that we give them, and that gives them a certain privileges. The main one, in my opinion, is that they are considered now sharp patients, and we give them discounts, and we keep in touch with them via email, and is our patients.
Like a community.
Yeah.
The community is we are slowly getting to know each other and to interact on a one-to-one basis with these people.
That's yeah, I know. I didn't have my Sharps card when I was there, but Dennis did, and
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you about a personal experience. An experience. A friend of mine, where I come from in England, emailed me to tell me that a young boy named Philip Payne, and my friend is a very good friend of his father's, had a terrible, terrible accident here in Mazatlan. And this young man fell from the 7th floor of a building and actually got taken to Sharp. In fact, I've got a photograph I'd like you all to look at right now. There is a photograph of Philip Payne in a coma, literally the day he was taken in. 7 floors this guy fell. Just look at that for a second. So that's an illustration of how the condition he was in when he first arrived at Sharp. Can you just give us a brief history of what his condition was and his treatment was in the first 24, 48 hours?
I should start by telling you that we at Sharp, at the emergency room, we have the only shock and trauma room. It's not only an ample facility where we can intervene right there in there, and it can make a difference in a case like Philip's terrible incident. We can save lives, literally.
Right.
Mr. Payne came in the hospital on the...
By the way, this boy is 19 at the time.
19.
He is 19. He was in Mexico on a scholarship from his university learning Spanish. And he got together with other people that was in the same situation, but they were in different cities in Mexico, and they got together here to spend Christmas and New Year's. On the first day of the year, 3 years ago, sleepwalking, a condition that he suffers and that was funny until that time for his family and friends, he fell off the 7th floor and did a somersault and fell 7 floors.
Wow.
Wow.
He was admitted in the first hours of the first day of the year, dying. He was dying. This is what he called polytraumatized. He had about 10 fractures. Lower limbs were shattered, his lower back, his feet, he was in really bad shape. And this was a long, tortuous, and painful process for him especially and for the family, and he made it.
wow, that's
Well, actually, that's fantastic, and I got personally involved, as I said in this story, because my friends, the father of Philip Payne was a friend of my friend, so I got to meet the family. Now we've got a little bit of a surprise for you, because the parents of Philip Payne are here. So.
Welcome.
Sit down, Sally.
Wow. Huh?
that's
How emotional.
yeah.
So, may I introduce this wonderful couple?
Wow.
This is Sally Payne, the mother of Philip Payne, and this is Neil Payne, Philip's father. Can you maybe just give us a quick sort of idea of when you found out, and of course that once you got here to Mazatlan, not only about the treatment that Philip was receiving, and I believe he was in 2 hospitals. Well, I know he was in 2 hospitals, but also how the community gathered together and supported you.
It was unbelievable, the help and support we gained from people living here, people visiting here. They just couldn't do enough to help us, including the doctors who gave us all the information we needed. People we didn't know were just so kind. I just can't ever thank them enough. And the doctors, I can't thank them enough. And you, of course.
Well, his condition, as we've just heard from the good doctor there, was beyond serious. I mean, it was more than life-threatening. He was close to death.
Yeah.
So in terms of, your apprehension when you arrived, I guess your anticipation was you expected the worst.
Yeah, we didn't know, obviously, when we arrived on the aeroplane, whether he would still be alive at that time, because there's no communication. But then we saw him, as expected, wired up to absolutely everything. But, we knew he was in the best hands. You could see he had the best care, total attention on him. And that was the only hope we had, that we knew he was in the best place and couldn't receive better treatment, in my opinion.
Were you nervous the moment that you arrived into Mexico, thinking, oh, this horrible accident has happened and we're in the third world, let's say? And,
yes,
and you
I
thought
just didn't
if
know
something like this would happen in my country,
Yeah,
there would be more of a chance. Did that fear come into you?
definitely. I just didn't know what to expect. I'd never been to Mexico in my life.
Was this your
We
first
hadn't-
time coming then?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we just didn't know what to expect, and we thought it might be a third world country in a crummy hospital. But,
Yeah, you
it was
didn't know what to
not like
expect
I
when you saw
expected.
your son and the conditions.
Yeah.
How is he doing?
He's doing very well. He's gained a degree. He went back to university, gained a degree in Spanish and Latin American studies.
Wow.
Did very well, and he now has started a course in England to teach Spanish to foreign adults, and he's
Wow.
doing very well at that as well.
Good.
He's-
We've got a little clip actually of Philip receiving his degree, which I really want the viewers to see, because the transformation from 3 years being in that coma to actually wheeling himself on stage to get his degree at Southampton University is quite incredible. So we're going to show that in a second. But before we do that, I know the story about, and I'd like the viewers to know, the story about when you took him back to England after his care and attention here. You took him back to England via Mexico City, and I believe you flew back with him and the medical team.
Yes, I flew back with Philip and Dr. Moreno, and Neil had to fly back to Madrid to pick up the car that had been there for 5 weeks.
So I want to ask you, Neil, so I'm going to ask you to pass the microphone over. At that point, you get on that plane, I'm choking up. You get on that plane and you're on your own.
Yeah, I mean, the transition leaving Mazatlan to Mazatlan airport was difficult enough. But then the transfer then onto the aeroplane became difficult for that first hop to Mexico City. And then once in Mexico City, we'd not accounted for the lack of the missing hour, and there was a big rush to get Philip onto his plane. And then I had to wait another hour at Mexico City, just walking around in a numb situation, wondering, had everything gone well? And then I had the problem of getting back to Madrid to collect the car, and then I had to drive myself to the UK. And it was an awful 24 hours of my life.
Oh,
Probably as near as bad as the 24 hours that we took to get here in the first place.
Right.
How long was your son in the hospital in Mazatlan?
He was in Mazatlan for a total of 5 weeks. He spent, I believe, the first 2 or 3 weeks in Sharp, where the technology there was able to save his life. And then he was then transferred to the Sanatorio,
Okay.
which is the local hospital
Right,
here,
right.
where he received fantastic care from the nurses, and they gradually brought him on to be in a situation where he was well enough
to travel.
back to the UK.
And
Amazing.
so is he still in the recovery phase? Is things progressing each day now?
Yeah, I mean,
Or
he's living independently. He lives in a flat on his own, but has a flatmate. He drives a car.
Oh, wow.
And he gets himself to school and back, and eventually, within the next few months, hopefully, he'll gain employment in the teaching profession.
Oh,
It's an amazing story. It's an
really
amazing
is.
story, and I know that you guys are back here in this time to thank people, the medical team, and also the community.
Party time now.
Party
yeah.
time.
So I think to wrap this up, I think what we'd like to do is show you a video now of Philip receiving his degree at Southampton University this year, and this is not the end, this is the beginning of the journey. So let's show the clip. Wow.
Bravo.
Amazing. What an amazing. Thank you guys so much for coming here today. We've really enjoyed it and telling us this amazing story. Thank you, Doctor, for being there. And now we're going to go, to close the show, we're going to go to Lori, who's going to give us a song in our own inimitable fashion. Thank you very much.
Thank
See
you.
you soon.
Thank you, bye. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thanks, you guys, so much, and thanks for having us on The Spirit of Mazatlan on MazatlanMyCity.com. This is Ron Fonts. I'm Lori Davidson. We're going to do a song called Te Amo for you. Originally learned it from a group from Mazatlan, Banda MSA. No sé qué me pasó. Me estoy ilusionando a cada instante. En mi mente voy volando. Te extraño cada día. Deseo tu compañía. No sé qué me pasó, pero me sucedió. Te amo de la cabeza a los pies. Te amo como la primera vez. Te amo con todos mis sentidos. Te amo, latido tras latido. Te amo desde el fondo de mi corazón. Te amo. No sé qué me pasó. Estoy enamorando. No sé qué sucedió, pero te estoy amando. Te extraño cada día. Deseo tu compañía. No sé qué me pasó, pero me sucedió. Te amo de la cabeza a los pies. Te amo como la primera vez. Te amo con todos mis sentidos. Te amo, latido tras latido. Te amo desde el fondo de mi corazón. Te amo. Te amo con todos mis sentidos.